Hello, I'm JT from Briarthorn Studio, and today we're going to be taking a look at some basic steps if you're just getting into production, if you're just getting into filmography, photography. Three simple rules called the 3 rules of 3. We're going to be taking a look first at the 3 points of contact rule, which is how to get a steady shot regardless of the situation or what you're using to hold the camera. The second thing we're going to be taking a look at is 3-point lighting, which is what I'm using for this shot right now. Currently, I'm using the sun as a fill light. I'm using another light right here, which is covering the majority of my face. That's going to be the key light. The key light covers everything that the fill light does not, and vice versa. And finally, I'm using a backlight, which is lighting the background, giving me a striking contrast between the slightly out of focus background and the in focus me. The third rule is redundant recording. Try to always have more than one, preferably about 3. This is just a personal thing for me because I like redundancy, and if one thing fails, maybe we can pick it up on another. Right now, I've got 3 different setups for audio. I've got a boom mic to my right. I've got the lapel microphone here, which I'm probably going to be using right now. And then, of course, if all else fails, I have the camera microphone. So, without further ado, let's break all 3 of these down into 3 simple steps. First thing, like I said, what we're going to be talking about is 3 points of contact while filming. When it comes to taking a steady shot for a film, for a movie, doesn't matter. It's always best, even if you don't have a rig, to use 3 points of contact. For example here, I'm holding the camera, my hands on either side, equidistant from each other. My elbows are tucked into my chest so that I'm no longer using the force of my arms to hold up the camera. I'm just letting it rest. And thirdly, the strap for the camera is around my neck, providing 1, 2, 3 points of contact. Another good idea is to use a rig like this, and we're going to go through the same process. You'll see my hands are equidistant from each other, my elbows resting on my chest once again, and I have a shoulder support so that I have a third point of contact, so it holds it steady while I hold my hand steady, and once again I've got a perfectly still shot. Next up, we're going to talk about redundant recording and how important it is when it comes to making sure that you only have to take one take. For example, let's say you only have one microphone, and there's issues with that. You maybe forget to hit the record button, you get the footage home, you have to edit it, and you have no audio. Or let's say you're only using the camera microphone. That's great, but the camera microphone, in most cases, not all of them, I'm sure somewhere out there's a camera microphone that's just fantastic. However, it's not yours. If we were to take a look over here, you'll see that there's one microphone. This is a directional microphone, a broadcast microphone that uses a diaphragm to project in this direction. There are many different types of this. However, we'll cover that at a future date on a different lesson. Next, I also have a second source of audio, which I'm using right now, more than likely, which is this guy right here, my lapel microphone. It's not a true lavalier. It's attached to my hip and records from my hip, but it is a second source of audio in case, let's say, like yesterday when I filmed the first half of this video, I forget to press record. And thirdly, just in case I forget to press record on this, and I forget to press record on this, I still have the camera audio that I can fall back on. Once again, I'm not a big fan of relying on the camera audio, so if you had a top-mounted broadcast mic, a shotgun mic to go on top of your camera, that would be even better. Now let's take a look at some of the available types of audio recording systems. There are 3 kinds of microphones I want to point out to you at this point. For example, we have the broadcast and shotgun microphones we were just talking about. If you want to know more about them in the future, there'll be a video about different types and their different functions. Over here, we have studio microphones and condenser microphones. So, what these can be used for is to directionally capture sound, which is really nice, and it can do it at an incredibly high quality with incredibly low gain, which means you can capture just your voice with no sound in the background, less reverb. You know, that kind of deal, which is really good when you're going for a narration or anything of that kind. Finally, we have recording devices. Recording devices such as this lapel microphone that I'm using now, which you'll see right here, and also my very first one, which is literally a sound recorder with a little lapel microphone that cost me like maybe $5. Also, when it comes to recording devices, we're going to take a look at these guys. They are probably some of the best ones on the market. If not these, then this style. This is what we're capturing the highest quality audio with at all times. They use a lot of power, they use a lot of batteries, and they connect through XLR, which is an analog connection, which is really good because it converts it to digital, which is also incredibly useful. Obviously, you're watching this on a computer and not on a VHS tape. Next, we're going to discuss three-point lighting. Three-point lighting is the most versatile tool that you can have on your beginner's tool set when it comes to photography, videography, production, filmography, what have you. Anything that requires lights for film, or for digital camera as it were, will be benefited by a three-point lighting system. For example, I'm using what's called a loop lighting effect. I have also a backlight. That's one light, two lights. This larger, brighter one is called a key light. It's kind of the brightest one, and then this one is, the first one was filling in what it doesn't. We talked a little bit about that in the intro. And finally, we have the backlight. The backlight makes sure that there is a great contrast between me and my background, and it keeps my background looking crisp, fresh, and original. If you guys really like this video and you want to know more concepts about how to improve your game when it comes to filming and photography and editing, maybe just hit that subscribe button. You can do it for free, no charge. And since this is my first actual video, I haven't thought of an outro yet. I just, out! That's it.